Welcome back everybody, and yes indeed, I'm braving the garage in this video. Much better. Yes indeed, today I am braving the garage. I can't tell you how much I just wanted to get back in that sim rig and not have to come back out here in this freezing little box. But because I love you guys, I'm braving the cold. Don't say I never did nothing for you. So today we are indeed doing the dashboard pull like I have been promising for the longest time. I need to get that carpet out of the car before the racing season starts in 3 months. 2.5 months. Darn. Time really does fly. No indeed, we are not going to be taking out that dashboard. That would be way too easy. Instead, we're taking out this one, the one that's still in the car, because we need to get out that carpet before the racing season starts. Now I've done a handful of things to the car to get it ready for this moment, so hopefully this should be a little bit easier than typical. Also, if you guys enjoy the content, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps me know that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm making. Also, with the racing season only 2.5 months away, I'm closing in on 100 subscribers, and I'd love to hit that before the racing season hits. Hopefully I have a ready car though. Now the good first step that I've already done is I've taken out the radio and AC controls. Oh, I forgot about that. But anyway, the things that I haven't taken out that are going to be a pain is the steering wheel. Because you see, in order for this dashboard to come out, I have to remove the steering wheel. I don't want to remove the steering wheel. So we're not going to do that yet. We're going to put that off. We're going to get out the glove box. Now the glove box is like any other glove box. You have to remove the things that hold it into the car to take it out of the car. That just so happens to be 6 Phillips head screws. There's going to be 1 down here, 3 along the top up here, and then 2 behind little straps on the sides over here that you can't really see from that angle, but I'll move the camera when I take it out. Now with this handy little thing out, there's 2 wires here, you'll see, running from the dash. This one goes to the light, runs along this little channel right here, and then this one goes to the light, the little flashlight, runs along that little channel back there, all the way over. I apologize for the lighting situation here. Now that Summer so graciously decided it didn't want to be here anymore, I don't really have good lighting in the garage, just because I used to use the daylight. And my garage is not kitted out for this kind of thing, so I've got my phone. Just like that. I know. I was just joking about not wanting to have to take out the steering wheel and putting it off. But the steering wheel has to come out, so let's just get it out of the car. That way I don't have to think about it anymore. Also, I think that if I'm jumping from one side of the other car to the other, it breaks up the shots and makes it more entertaining. Regardless, let's get this airbag out. Now I've already disconnected the battery because we're going to be taking out 2 airbags to do this. This is one of them, so you're going to want to disconnect the battery as well. Now in order to get the airbag out, there's 2 little holes, 1 on each side of the car. And you need something long that's going to reach into it to push on this little spring that's retaining the airbag. I think my screwdriver's long enough, and hopefully it's not too big. It's too big. Alrighty, I'm back with a proper tool. Now like I said, it's just a spring, so it doesn't really matter. Just need something long to push it. A little tighter than I had wished. And now with the precious airbag out of its springs, there's just a couple of airbag clips, which I do believe benefit from a pick tool. Now I can finally get that recall done. So now with the airbag out of the way, it's actually really simple in this car. You've got two little plugs up here for all your steering wheel controls, which both need to come out. And with both of those out, it's just a 16mm. Sorry guys, so sorry for hitting you. Please don't press charges. Yeah, this is kind of an important step with taking a steering wheel out. Once you've got that bolt all the way out, just put it back in. Now the reason for putting it back in is because we got to grab the steering wheel on both ends. And I promise I'm not going to hit you guys again. I'm sorry about that. But you pull. Just like that. Now mine was really easy, but sometimes they're stuck. And sometimes you pull so hard to get it out, that you smack yourself in the face, and bam. Steering wheel is off. Now typically you'd want to mark the steering wheel before taking it off, but the M3 has this little handy thing. I'll point it out right here for you. You'll see there's a little groove right here at the bottom of the steering wheel. That coincides with a groove right here on the steering wheel. So when you put this back on, which I'll most likely be doing, and most everyone's going to be doing, because I've never heard of a steering wheel delete, just line up this little groove right here with the groove on the steering column, and your steering wheel will be straight. See guys, what I tell you, steering wheel wasn't that bad. It was 2 springs and a bolt. I don't know what you guys were complaining about this whole time. It's not that bad to take out. Anyway, now with that out, this still is not going to slide over. These guys are kind of going to be a problem. Since BMW designed it that it's a 5-step process to get your trim piece out here, I guess I gotta start with this little kick panel here. And looks like it's just 3 screws along over here. Phillips head's just like the glove box was. A little clip there and a little clip back there, so this should be pretty easy. And then this guy this guy has something I've never seen on one of these. Now if you can see it properly, this guy right here has got a little push pin in the center. To push that in, and then you pop this whole thing out. And there's 2 of them. There's one back there as well, which is why you have to remove this to get this out. I have never seen this system on steering column trim. So this tripped me up, so I'm just going to mention it. This little OBD2 port thing, there's like a little door for it. This was attached to there. It's got this little resistor. I don't know what that's about. So when it's closed, it has that resistor plugged in. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look that up. But you just pull this little clip back here. With this door open, you can press it out. And that's where I was getting a little struggle. And then there's also a little light. This top piece, which is usually in view of a driver or passenger, and is usually left clean for that reason, actually has a screw right there at the top. The same Phillips screw that everything else has had. A little tiny Phillips screw. Almost had me breaking this. Getting it off has revealed what I needed. These 4 T25 torque bits are what hold on this assembly that counts both of these guys and this guy right here. Looks like the ring should be easy. Like I said, jumping back and forth makes it look a little bit better. And the next step here is going to be an airbag. So just make sure you have the battery disconnected. Now this should be pretty simple. You just got to pull up on it, and then there's 2 10mm and 2 13mm bolts under here. As you can see, 2 10mm bolts here, And then in the back, there's gonna be two 13mm that need to come out.
Plug hidden away.
Right down here at the bottom. That's just a little retention clip. Weren't we just over here doing the steering wheel? Well, heck yeah we were, but now we're doing the gauge cluster. But it's just two T20 torques, not 25. These are T20 torques that hold it up there. Should be pretty simple to slide out. Now on the other side of the gauge cluster is just a couple clips. One of my least favorite designs of clip, and one of my least favorite design Now there's still two things connected to the dashboard that pose a problem. One is this guy right here, my lights control. That guy has got wires connected to it, and that's connected to the dashboard. The other one is this guy right here. You see this little knob here that adjusts the heat and cold on these things? That's connected to a cable. So, this has to come out, that has to come out. Other than that, there's nothing connecting the dashboard to the car other than the bolts on the dashboard itself. So this is the cable I'm talking about right here. This little guy. Trying to see the best way for it to come off. Now I just wanted to touch base on this guy real quick, the one that had the cable in it, because it was a little bit hard to show on camera. But the cable was going into here, a little plastic sleeve. You had to pull the plastic sleeve out of this backwards, pulling on the cable a little bit. And then the cable could fit through this little hole right here that my fingernail's going through. Then the cable was connected to this, and it was a little green ring around that nub right there. And as you can see, it's got two pieces right here, one there, one there. This one is kind of loose, but it holds it in, so I had to pull that down and then push the green ring off of this to get it undone. We're on the home stretch. Now I have checked and I have double checked, and I think all that's left to do is to remove the bolts and screws holding the dash to the car. Now that consists of 10mm nuts and some Phillips head screws. Now there's only one Phillips head screw up here, and then you got 10mm, 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 and then a 10mm on the other side of the steering column over there. I'm also pretty sure that these little Phillips heads have to be removed as well, so that makes it 3 Phillips head screws and 4 10mm nuts, and then we'll have the dash out. Now it should be good to go, but I think it's going to take a little bit of persuasion. there's these little guys right here. Yeah, they're holding on to little bars there. The screws for the glove box were in on this side. There's also one on the driver's side at the bottom as well, over by the door side. Yeah, those little guys need to come out. This is the little guy I was talking about. That son of a had one more trick under its sleeve. So sitting right here, this is the dashboard. There's where the gauge cluster is. There's a little flat piece of plastic. It's a sensor of some sort, and here it is in its 3 pieces. Why is it in 3 pieces? Well, because it doesn't unplug, and in its assembled form, this is roughly what it looks like assembled. That's it from the top. In its assembled form, it doesn't fit through the hole. So on a quick side note, it actually does have a plug. It's just on the other end of the cable, and I didn't see it when I was pulling it out. The plug is plugged in by the AC/radio control wires, so you can unplug it from there and pull the dashboard out of the car. You do not have to disassemble it like I did. It is out. There is more work that needs to get done to the car still yet. I am so happy to just have that out of the way for now. I am not, however, looking forward to putting all of that back. But now that it's out of the way, I can get some stuff done under the dash. Like all of the projects I do on this car though, there are things that came out of it that are not going to go back into it. So the amount of weight that I saved is over here, or somewhere unimportant. Anyway guys, I'm going to go inside and set myself on fire to warm up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.